Streaming is way harder than a 9 to 5. I don't care. Be mad about it. Said I'm Dante. Oh, he has a tendency for trolling. So me, never took any type of offense to this. And when it also came to the other creators who said this, I didn't really take offense to it because one, they could just be trolling the heck out of y'all. And two, they could be trolling the heck out of any human being that has a sense of comprehension.
Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Look for partly sunny weather with a high of 54 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 42 degrees.
Let's keep it above. And hey, look, I'll give streaming some slack because obviously there is some hardships when you're doing that type of stuff, especially when you're trying to be at the top of the top. It's gonna be mentally draining, but physical job, a physical hard labor job, or just having to deal with customers or whatever you got to do, right, is draining itself. And then having to come home, provide for whoever you're with, and then repeat the cycle is draining, especially if it's something you don't want to do, which makes it even more draining. Streaming can be draining, streaming can be hard, but not as hard as you think. The only thing you got to worry about that's like really like the biggest obstacle is having to gain and maintain a good lifestyle. Basically what I mean by that is maintaining the revenue, consistently making that or probably topping that, just to sustain, you know, yourself and who you're providing for. It's probably the only part, to stay relevant and to, you know, stay on top of the game. But 9 to 5s is like, I wouldn't say it's really hard to promote unless you're just like a terrible worker. It's not hard to get in the ranks when you have a 9 to 5, especially all you do is, you know, just respect people and do your job and mind your business. That's all you really got to do. Like, I swear this has been brought up like 3-4 times in the past year. A lot of creators that I watch said it, and honestly I can understand their perspective. One person specifically spoke out about this and had the same, you know, opinion about it, and he honestly made sense. But a lot of people weren't really, you know, peeping what he was saying, but in that aspect he was talking about, it made sense. And who I'm talking about is Cash Nasty. If you don't know who he is, man, he's an OG. Gotta respect the OGs, man. Look, shout out Unc. He was commenting on Blackboy Max, talking about how being a streamer is harder than a 9 to 5.
Being like a streamer or any face on the internet is harder than a 9 to 5 in certain ways because it fuck you up mentally. Now, waking up every day and go to a job and lifting boxes, like depending on what you're doing, that's just tough too. That shit is hard. That shit is very hard. Like, you feel me? Especially when you're doing a job you don't enjoy doing. That shit'll fuck with your mental. You might wanna, you feel me? You might be tired of it. You might be unhappy. But being a face, like being a top streamer, is difficult because of all the shit you go through in terms of like living life. You are literally seeing thousands of niggas give their thoughts on you every second. That's not supposed to be. Like, no human brain normally should be able to tolerate that.
He thinks it's harder. Me, I personally don't think so. Look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so at the end of the day, that's what you think, bro. That's what you think. Ain't nothing changed. The world's still gonna keep spinning, you know. It's not that deep. This is facts. When I was a top streamer, it was taxing on the mental way more. Working a 9 to 5, get to turn it off, but when under the spotlight, there's no turning it off. Not to mention the expectations. I worked a 9 to 5 from the age of 15, and besides picking pecans, worked my way up to a salary manager. It was a grind, but not so much stress on the mental being under the spotlight. People see this, see it's facts. Like, you see this and you're like, okay, that's understandable. Like, you can understand that perspective, or at least try to imagine yourself in that perspective. It makes sense. What I really like about his responses, because he's only talking about the mental and being at the top. If you're really not at the top, if you're just casually doing it, like, let's say I come up a little bit, but I'm not like Kaisen, that type of him. It's like, let's say like I'm a really underrated streamer that's like about 200 people. Like, I'm chilling, I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I'm content with what I got. It's not hard at all, because all you gotta do is sit down and, you know, you got supporters talking to you, bro. You talking to supporters, y'all cook something up, y'all have a good stream, y'all have a good whatever, right? Every time I hear a streamer, they think of like a really top rich streamer and think that they're just doing basic level stuff. It's not basic level stuff. Of course, everybody reacts to videos, but a lot of people got their own like niches and, you know, type of stuff that they do for their type of streams, like different type of segments, which are unique to like their personality and like who they are and like what represents them. So that can be taxing on the mental for sure. But I'm on a 9 to 5 side, so don't think I'm swaying over. I'm just trying to give it our perspective. So hopefully I understand that. As a person who's been through a lot of jobs, yeah, 9 to 5 is not. And the thing is, I'm one of the people who's like very chill. I don't really talk to much people unless like I'm spoken to. I just do my work and mind my business. I'm like the cool person who doesn't really like do much, and nobody complains about my behavior or my actions. That's it. I literally just do my work, go home, and it's a cycle. For the people that actually have to go through things, like the higher ups, people who have like way more important jobs, they go through a lot. Whether it's customers, whether it's people not working good and they got to like watch over them, let's say like the managers, things not going in order as how they would want to. There's a lot of things. There's countless number of things I could say, but I'm trying to keep it like a feel. I don't want to keep yapping about this too much. But yeah, they go through a lot of things that even streamers don't really experience at all, because they work with people who they enjoy and who they like. You know what I mean? So it's kind of more like it's a selective thing in streaming. But the thing is, for streaming, you really have to build that base up to even get to that point, which makes it the hard part, which is the only part I would say that is really hard than a job. Because streaming, if it doesn't if it goes right, streaming is really hard to get up on. Like, the grind is serious, unless you're just like that 0.1% like speed or Kai, you know what I mean? It's crazy hard. You just gotta be consistent, but even that is not guaranteed. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. Yeah, if you got any additional input you want to put in, go ahead. If you got any additional opinions, go ahead. If you got a different perspective, go ahead. But hey, look, I'm taking a 9 to 5, but of course streaming has their hardships and moments where it can get tough that even a 9 to 5 can't go through in terms of status and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all have a good one. God bless, and I'm out.
What?